I'm back in Hollywood Animal, and there's been a whole bunch of updates to the game since I last played. So I want to talk about them just a little bit here. It looks like maybe we're at the end of our run here. Let me just see really quick on what we got going. There's no competition at all here. So, I mean, okay, there's competition from other studios, but not mine. So there's no reason to take this out of the theaters. We can let it run, let it run again. And we'll just bump it up a little bit. Although, yeah, we'll just bump it up a little bit. There's no way it's going to get in the way of anything. So there we go. Okay, just let this run, confirm. And let's talk about something. First thing, they've apparently fixed, I've been told anyway, they fixed the thing that is causing the broken spur to be broken. However, it requires a new save to fix it. So this is forever broken. Wah, wah, wah. I know. Sad face. I also cannot delete it because once you get to the distribution stage, you can't delete it. So this is just going to be sitting here all the time. It's just always going to be right here, and I can't do anything about it. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it's going to be. Okay. Second, is this done yet? Looks like pre-production is done being fixed. Okay, so I can go in and make another one if I want to. So really quick, let me go in and make... yeah, a little bit more time for my writers, though, for that. I want them to start working on these projects here pretty quick. I think maybe we'll start with this one. Murderer, couple male character, winning the beloved, evil sorcerer. Wow. Thank you for understanding. We'll make thank you for understanding. This says an evil sorcerer though. So I'm gonna rename it because I don't like this. Thank you. This is a comedy? It is a comedy. Thank you for being evil. There we go. Okay. We have a 6.8 popcorn here. And I've been mostly ignoring the artistic scores, but now that the Pollux Awards are around, might want to take a look at that a little bit more. Pay a little bit more attention to the artistic stuff, just a little bit. But in general, I wanted to make a lot of money, and so popcorn. Just, if you want to make money, max this out. Okay, there you go. I'm thinking probably... Franklin, unfortunately, is 19 days from the end of his contract. Let's go and use Hubert because he's on a timer. And if you guys, I'm going to answer a couple of questions I've seen in comments and stuff too. Because at the point of releasing this video, I've already had quite a few that's released. So when I say I got a guy on a timer, it means he's hired on a period of days. So he's like 3-year contract as opposed to 3 movies. So it makes more sense for me since I have these guys for a lot longer. I can put them in a, situationally the best role. But if this guy's on a timer, then I got to get him as many movies as possible because it typically costs more. It's around double is what it costs for 1 year versus 1 film. So when you're hiring people, just take a look at how much they're going to charge you. And it's typically double, around double anyway, for 1 year than it is for 1 film. Which means you need about 2 films a year. So if you're hiring them for 3 years, you need to make sure you can get them in 6 movies to make that, worth it. Actors can only be in one thing at a time, and sometimes they want breaks and stuff. So I like to hire them per movie. Actually, I would give you everything for this one. That's fine. Producers are very close to being able to work on 2 things at once. So I don't think I'm really going to care if I send Oliver here, 9-star producer. And you know what? I'm actually thinking about, let's see what this does because I haven't done this yet. We have Oliver here as a 9.7 stars. If I add a producer, I can have 2 producers on this film, right? So let's put Bob on here as well. I just want to see what it does, if it helps anything. I'm going to go ahead and give you some gifts, make you all very happy. Let's make everybody very happy. Ta-da! Happiness. Okay. Director. There can only be 1 director. And he's on a timer. I like Homer here, I think. I'm going to go ahead and pop Homer on this. For the Wayward Soul. Oh, who's going to be the Wayward Soul? It feels like something I would do. I've been in 2 comedies already in the last 5 films. Audiences might be just a little bit tired of that. But for the specific role, I haven't played that yet. So maybe it's all right. Could be. I only got 2 movies left. This guy's on a timer. I probably should use these guys because, again, they're on timers. There's also probably better scripts I could put them in, but I think they'll perform well as long as they are... He's not very loyal, is he? All right, tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. The Wayward Soul is going to be Victor. No, Martin. Sorry. Martin is going to be here because he's on a timer. He hasn't done a Wayward Soul yet, but he also has only done 1 comedy in his last 5 roles, so I think that's probably fine. And then the Evil Sorcerer. I mean... Yeah. I just don't want to... Your loyalty is a question mark for me. And I don't really want to give you anything else to help pay for it. But I think I will just to do it. Just to get you up there. Okay. So this is how we're going to play this. And we'll go ahead and let that be a thing. There you go. Started right up. Excellent. Okay, so the Mansion Owner is a script that we just made. It's 1.5 and 1. Okay, this is my rookie writer, right? Yes, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's doing Jeffrey things. I'm not going to spend 20 grand for a script doctor to fix this. We're just going to dump it. And we're going to have him write another one. How about this detective one right here? All right, cool. I've had some people say they don't like the ideas panel. I like using it for practice. But remember, these are just simple ideas. A really good writer will still make you something really good from these. So if you don't want to spend the time going through the story workshop all the time, these are still fine. You can have your writers do these things. I like buying scripts as well. Those are usually nice. This one's very cheap. A detective, tribal chief, protagonist finds love. Well, that's a trash plot. Let's make it. It's cheap. Might as well make it. All right, so let's go cinematographer for you. Man, it's actually quite high on the artistic value here. He likes the location shooting. He's only got 18 days, though. I got to have his contract extended if I'm going to be able to do this. So maybe we'll find somebody better. Somebody who likes shooting in a soundstage better, perhaps. Let's try to find somebody better here. So I've also been informed about this. Yes, I'm aware of this. I just don't do it. Because every time you open this window, you have to reset this. And it's just like an extra couple clicks. I usually just scroll down and be like, yeah, the blue ones are off limits. It's usually kind of easier for me to do that. But I like you, Jay. I do, but you're too expensive. You're just going to cost me too much for what you give me. I don't like undisciplined either, though. Conceited is okay. And you really like sound stages. Let's go. Let's get you in here. 4.7 professionalism is not great for this particular script, but you know what? We'll take it. Because when I hire you, you become happy. That's a nice perk that I have now. Everyone I hire becomes happy when I hire them. Okay, it's good. Let's go filming tech, which is almost maxed out. Gosh, we're so close to having Sonotone maxed out too. We're gonna need new tech very soon. Let's give you all the tools that you need for success, hopefully. Producers. Let's hire another producer. Ooh, producer's office needs to... I need to renovate in order to do it. Okay. 35 days. That's where it starts happening. It's too destroyed for me to hire more producers. Crap. Do we wait on this then? I feel like we do. It's not going to be called an Appleseed. This is a drama western detective tribal chief protagonist finds love. Tribal love. I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with for now. The director on this film, we can let Richard do this. For the detective, let's get this to be... I mean, this is a film for you, isn't it? Tribal love? Come on now, get in there. Make that happen. You're not the tribal chief, though. That belongs to Victor. Victor's going to be your tribal chief. And then if I didn't have 2 producers on that other film, I'd be able to do this one right now. I could do this one. It's just he's kind of under the quality, like the quality, right? Is going to suffer here. But again, I wonder what happens if I put 2 producers on this. Does it help to have 2 producers, even if they're crap? Let's find out. They're all happy, loyal. Everyone's in a good mood. Let's just see what happens to the script. I want to run it now. Okay. The other question I had, it seems like a lot of you. Number one thing, basically what I'm seeing, both in my comment section as well as even a couple things on Discord, I think it was, and then those Steam forums, is you're having a hard time making money, right? Game's too hard. The balance is too whack. I disagree, but I'm a little biased because I kind of understand the industry a little bit more, and they are trying to stay true to it a little bit, right? So here is the thing I think you're probably missing. Notice how I have so much going on at once right now, and that takes a while to build up for, right? You want to always have your facilities doing something, always be making movies. And here's the really important part. You don't have to make masterpieces all the time. In fact, when you're just starting out, kick out garbage, okay? I'm saying if a script is 2.0, that's still fine to make a film with, okay? You're looking for profit per movie. If it's a weak script and you have a weak crew, right, and weak locations and all that stuff, then spend less money on it, right? Don't spend a lot of money on everything that's not going to make a lot of money. We'll look at distribution in a second, and I'll kind of give you how you can math this out. The composer has some unusual ideas for the score. Yeah. Well, this is like almost done. You're so close. Raising the artistic score here, yeah, lowers the commercial appeal. I don't want to do that. So I am going to lower your happiness. That's what I'm going to do, because you're 1 day away from being done on the frickin' post-production. Okay. Tell me who's right. Yeah, I mean, everything dropped in anyway, but it's fine. Commercial would have dropped even further there. I'm in the business to make money, maybe. Let's go. All right, so tell me who's right. Probably just use this one. Okay, so for distribution, obviously the first 2 movies that you release of your own accord that you've made yourself, right? Not Blind Love or whatever Limp and Luke, whatever you chose. Those first 2 films that you release have the marketing paid for, all right? But everything after that is not paid for. So you want to have your first 2 movies, and you'll notice back in like episode 2 or whenever it was that I actually released it, you'll notice that I held a script back, did not release it, and waited for the better script to come up behind it so that it can be released first. You can do those types of things. If you can get better commercial appeal for a script, use that one for your freebie, all right? Because it's going to make you more money, right? You want to make more money. After that, you have to start paying for your own, and then it's like, does the film actually work? So for Tell Me Who's Right, first off, this is not a romance. Broken Spur would have been great to put right here. Gosh, damn it. I can't have Broken Spur. It was such a good movie too. It's like an 8.2 script. Spent $500,000 on it. So Tell Me Who's Right. We're going to release this right on Valentine's Day, I guess. It's not really a Valentine's Day movie, but we might as well. I'm going to go cheap on the printing, which means it's going to extend my deadline here. And maybe I'll go second week is Valentine's Day. It's not really a love story, right? So here's how we want to play this. When you're looking at this for releasing and distribution, you're looking almost entirely at the popcorn score. Okay? So I'm going to bring this back out. I don't know why we still have to zero these out. It's been many patches since I started. Really hoping they fix that one, because it's such a small thing, but like 1 is like an extra $70. I know it's nothing, but like it's $70 I don't want to spend. Okay, I'm cheap. Here we go. We're gonna say that we want our screenings to be about here. Take this popcorn number, times it by 1,000. This is your average expectation for your first week if you advertise appropriately and everything is sort of targeted correctly on your marketing, right? So times it by 1,000. If your film has, and it doesn't have to be exact, play with it. Maybe do like an extra 200 or 300 screenings, whatever, just in case, right? Because if you really nail the marketing, you could get over this. If your film has star power behind it, which I'm not sure any of these guys really do. I don't think any of these guys do, no. But if your movie has star power behind it, like, you know, they're famous, then this number could go up, right? If they have higher artistic values and stuff like that, that could also help with reviews, which could also help it go up. So if you have really notable people, maybe we'll go up a little higher, right? And then realize that your films are going to teeter down week after week. So you don't need as many screenings as you go down. I know the tutorial, which is it's done very poorly in that it shows you that you've rented theater space, and then it shows you that you should extend it with the exact same conditions. That's bad. You don't want to do that. Don't listen to the tutorial with that. You don't want to extend for a second month with the exact same conditions because you will not get the same audience. So again, I'm kind of trying to show you how it works while playing the game, but that's how I see it. So I'm going to go down about like this. And if we do it right, and I never do it exactly right, but if we do it right, we'll have 100% attendance, or sorry, 99% attendance. Because if you have 100 across the board, chances are you had less screenings than you needed. You undersold it, right? And that's bad because you spent all that marketing, but you didn't get all the revenue. I like to try to target 99% if I can, but I probably won't get it. Okay. I went with the cheap printing, which takes a long time. For marketing, I'm going to start about a month or so. And if you know you're going to repeat this, which I'm not sure I will, but if you know you're going to repeat this, then extend it just a little bit. But just keep in mind that every week you go in, ups the cost of this. Okay, so I'm going to go just to end it here. These prices are reflected per week, and this is the total amount you will pay because of the duration you've selected. So this MBG costs $6,000 a week, and it's going to cost me $48,000 because of how many weeks. If I extend this to another week, another couple weeks, whatever, this number changes. Now it costs me $60,000. So if you're noticing why these numbers are going up in time, it's because of the duration that you're advertising for. If your movie is cheap and you don't think you're going to get a lot, don't advertise for more time, right? Maybe you can stop your ads here. You know, it's up to you how you want to advertise. But for the most effective advertising, you want to start about a month in advance and take it through the whole duration. I'm going to go about here just to see how this works, because it's not the greatest script and I can save some money on my marketing if I do so. So now this is $36,000. For these, it's a little harder. I can't really tell you exactly how it is because it's kind of it's left kind of ambiguous to me. But in general, what you want to do is think about the movie that you're releasing. In this case, it's Tell Me Who's Right is a drama, thriller, action movie. I can hit this little eye and I can see an exact breakdown of what it is, right? A drama, thriller, action movie in the Wild West with a clumsy oaf and a serial killer, and I don't know how the sweethearts stay together. Maybe the clumsy oaf is in love with the serial killer. I don't know. It's a terrible movie, right? But let's just say this movie, probably not targeted at kids, and probably not women's favorite thing either. So we're targeting men, right? It's kind of the idea. So where are men going to see it? Well, the men are probably not going to see it at Spice Mice. So you're not going to select this one. They're probably not going to see it at Velvet Gloss either, because this is like a women's publication. So we're not going to select this one. So you can read through these descriptions and kind of think, where are men likely to see it? Right? For me, I'm looking at things like this, and I also have to take into consideration how many people are going to visit this, how many people are going to come to the movie, right? I'm thinking they're probably going to read the newspaper, magazines, things like that. Okay, cool. They're going to be driving to work. They'll probably see the billboards, probably listen to the radio while they're doing that. Remember, this is like middle-aged and older people too. So is this film going to appeal to them? Is there like a whole bunch of inappropriate stuff in this? Is there interracial couples? Are there naked women? Those types of things are probably not necessarily going to appeal to a large percentage of the prude older people, right? So like you kind of have to think about those types of things when you're going to marketing things. For this, I can probably get by with this. Don't go overdo it because, again, your popcorn score is going to kind of limit how much you're going to get anyway. And then if you want to do the tricks, you can. The hospice visit so far has like 100% chance of success. So as long as your actor is not like morally against it, right? Which these guys are, then you can do the dirty tricks. But I don't have anybody that's willing to do them. So we're going to continue without tricks. Okay. We'll see how much money that movie makes. in about a month and a half. My producer's office is getting fixed. Hello, Snatch. Okay, so that is a failure on the script doctor. You know what? I'm fine with it the way it is. Okay, so you see how I have movies going at every single stage of development right here. There's the 4 stages, right? Your pre-production, production, post-production, distribution. There's something going on at every single stage. Do this in your game, and I have a hard time believing you're not going to make money. As long as you're not trying to make masterpieces every single time. Make mediocre films, spend as little on them as possible, make profit. That's pretty much how it goes. We're going to owe $500,000 in taxes. So we're going to have to do something about that. Bernard, I think your 4.2 self, is going to... Portal. Bernard, you're a comedy writer, aren't you? Did I remember that correctly? Send to archive. Hang on. I think you're a comedy writer. Yeah. I want you to be happy, though, Bernard. Can you be happy? Yeah, there you go. I think that's probably why you failed, because you were unhappy. This guy here, same thing. He's probably not going to get one of these elements because he's unhappy. So make him happy in his job, and he'll be more likely to succeed. I don't have any whiskey, but he's more likely to succeed, right? Freelance writer's office, I probably should fix that too pretty quickly here. I wonder if this will stop, though. Like, I wonder if Sherlock will not be written or if he'll keep going. Let's find out. I'm going to fix freelance writer's office. Seems like he's... It says 214 days. It says 213 days now, so it is still writing. Good. All right, so we have number 8 on the box office is Pour One For Me. Very nice. We're getting in the top 10, so we should get some experience for that. We didn't get anything on the fan favorite side. That's entirely dependent on our popcorn scores and stuff. Yeah, and of course, you have to get really good targeting for it, too. Because even if you have a high commercial appeal, if you don't appeal it to the right people, like if you don't market it to the right people, then it's really appealing, and the people that find it really appealing didn't see it. If they didn't see it, they can't be their favorite. Guy's super cheap. We're gonna go 6 years on this contract. Yeah, no offers required here. $1,200 bucks. $1,200 total for 6 years. That's insane. Are you the HR person? You're doing an okay job. Human resources executive at 55. Not sure how long you're going to work, but I'll get you for 6 more years. You have a stable job. Congrats. Congratulations on your $2,000 for 6 years. You're incredibly cheap. Okay, so Homer is going to be established as a director who directs Alcohol, the Spirit of Freedom films. Looks like he's also getting Winning the Beloved as well. Wow. Oh, yeah, he's getting them both right now. Wow, okay. Interesting. Well, all right. Alcohol, Spirit of Freedom, and Winning the Beloved. You're going to win a drink and the girl. That's... All right, we can find some scripts that are working for you. Studio policy. Time to choose your path. You've overcome the initial hurdles and achieved your first successes. Now, even the skeptics have little doubt. You're in this business for the long haul. No more time playing around in the kiddie pool. Now you're ready to stand up and choose a direction and move forward with confidence. Okay. You can choose a studio policy. Learn all about the details. We have 3 choices here. Future updates will give us 5. So the first one is a fun one. This is Trash King. Exploitation, grotesque characters, shoestring budgets, and plenty of blood, slime, and colorful sets. Forget all sense of proportion and so-called good taste. Shoot it fast, shoot a lot, shoot it fun. And let the pompous intellectuals squirm as much as they like. So the audience for films with trash elements grows by 10% if you choose this one. And when working on trash films, all in-studio production processes will advance at twice the pace. That part is huge. You get to do all the stuff, but you get to do it at half the time. It's very nice. You can create crazy story elements and shoot exquisite trash from the highest caliber. I'm not really a trash movie person, though. I'm kind of looking for something different myself, but this is probably really fun if you choose this one, because it gives you a building that lets you you can sort of look at recipes and stuff and like put certain story elements together to create new ones. It's very interesting, but it's not really what I'm kind of going for this. Not my flavor that I'm kind of interested in right now. But in a second playthrough kind of thing, I can see where that would definitely be a great thing. Then we have Behemoth. Make the movies everyone will see, and do it with style and flair. Impose your will on your friends and crush your enemies under your heel. Your studio will become a household name if your heady flight doesn't fall to vanity ambition. Starting bonuses for this one, you get 3. Actors who work with you will establish themselves in any role they perform in pictures that take first place in the box office receipts for the year. So if I make a film and it gets first place in the box office, the actors that worked in that movie will all get established in those in the roles that they played. Okay. So they can do that over and over again, right? We could just keep repeating that formula with those actors and get the same success. Maybe. Number 2, if a film's production budget exceeds $1 million, renting other people's theaters will cost half as much. But that's not as relevant to me because like I have a lot of theaters. But like there might be times where if I'm making a lot of movies, I might want to rent, right? And then so it will cost me half as much, which is pretty nice. It takes the necessity for me to buy any more theaters out of the equation. And then finally, attendance for films with a commercial rating above 9 will fall off half as fast. That's pretty good. I don't know how many times we're going to release a film with a commercial appeal above 9, but if we do, then the attendance will fall off at half the pace, which is kind of nice. Then there's boutique. We can uncover the true essence of cinema, experiment with form and content, resonate with sophisticated audiences, and try not to scare off anyone else. So this one, Behemoth is kind of targeting the big studio, make lots of money, commercial appeal studio, right? Then you have the boutique studios, which are very artistic. They're very focused on creating things and experimenting with the medium and really creating things that are kind of out there, and they don't necessarily appeal to the masses, right? These are the artistic ones. They start with your actors will establish themselves in any roles they play if the film wins a Pollux for Best Picture, which is pretty nice. So with this route, we're really targeting the Pollux Awards, right? You will see the development ceiling of all actors, directors, producers, cinematographers, and screenwriters. So we're going to be able to see what their ceiling is like at all times, even if they haven't hit it yet. So we'll know if it's worth developing them. They might be half a star from maxing out and we wouldn't know it. We would if we're a boutique. And then finally, attendance for films with an artistic rating above 9 will fall off as fast. And that's, again, targeting the artistic value of things. Now, each one of these also gets a special building, which helps you do things. And I think film school is the way you get... it says advance the development of actors, directors, producers, cinematographers, and screenwriters. This here is a way of training people without them having to work on things. It's a film school. It's fine. The Behemoth gets an image workshop. We can sculpt the images of our actors to suit our needs, which is very powerful. It can be very powerful. And then the Trash King gets the pit, which is allowed. This is how you create your different story elements and stuff. If you're playing the game for the first time, honestly, pick anyone you want here. I think you might have a lot of fun with Trash King, to be honest. I'm going to go Behemoth here. I know it's probably not the one people wanted me to pick. I'm going to go Behemoth here because it's a little bit more aligned with my style. Boutique is also probably a very close second for me. The only reason I wouldn't do Boutique here, and I realized by chance here that Boutique is the way you get Wendy. Remember, Wendy's capped out, right? Well, there is a way to get her to 10, and it's through the Boutique route if you went this way, because you'll be able to... kind of refine and develop people beyond their limitations if you do it this way. now that I described that, it makes me kind of want to go boutique and try it. I was going to choose Behemoth here because of the ability to sculpt people, because it's incredibly powerful. And then also I can spend more money on really big films. And if I spend more money on these big films and really go extravagant with my larger studios and my larger sets, really just getting in there and making those big blockbuster movies, I can then rent out the additional space that I need at half the cost, which is great. I'm planning on making really big movies. So this is kind of where I wanted to be. And then also each one of these policies, you'll see if I select this, each one of these policies also have goals that you need to try to sort of attain so you can work your way through it. For a big behemoth studio, we need to have 8 solid actors. These are people with 5+ skill on long-term contracts, 3+ years. So in other words, find a bunch of people that are 5+ skill level and get them on contract. If I can do that 8 times, actors, no one else, just actors. If I can do that 8 times, and it takes me to the next stage, where I then need to take all of the top 3 highest grossing film spots at the end of the year. All right. You can't do that unless you have a really massive budget, make these really big movies, and you just put a whole bunch of money into them, right? We're going to overwhelm our competition with a lot of money and influence. And we're going to start with that influence. We're going to try to do that by reshaping our people's image. That's going to help us really take more box office than anyone else. And you'll see how we do that. Okay, so the image workshop, again, massively important building for our particular policy here, for the direction we're going here. I'm going to place this, I think, right over here, next to the production house here. Let's, yeah, we'll get it here. It's not super urgent that we start reshaping people's image yet, so we'll get it right there. Okay, so we got that. Let's take a look at this script. Trash doesn't work for me, like, because I'm making really good movies too. I don't want to make a whole bunch. Like, if you're doing the trash route, right? You're making like 2-star, 3-star movies over and over and over again. You're just making you're gonna make so many films. You're gonna spend so much time in these pop-up windows, making so many different films and assigning so many people, and you're gonna be spending almost no money per film because you're gonna be hiring 1.0 actors all the time, right? That's where you live. I don't want to live there, all right? I don't want to live there right now. If I played it again, I think we could try that out. But, ideally, I'm going to try them all. And this is the one I'm starting with. So Tribal Love. Tribal Love can now start production. Just make you just a little happier. There you go, buddy. Have a nice day. If there is any issues on the set, I want you to have a better chance at, being successful at it. All right, cinematographers can only work on one thing at a time. So we're going to go movies. And I really hope, I'm really looking forward to them updating this game so that this UI goes way, way faster. It takes too long to do these things. Okay, so that was week 8. Second apple's done. We're going to go ahead and end distribution, send it to the archive. Off we go. We made some money. So we have 8.5 in the bank. And the Sweet Fruits of Jade is now done. Director, 876. Herman, I like you, but I don't know if I like you 876 like you. I'm out. Cleo, ooh. Now I need you. Superstar, right? I need her. I need those people, right? They're big. If I'm gonna be this big studio, I need people with these really high star powers and stuff. So that means I'm gonna have to spend more. That's kind of the theme. But if you're gonna do it with people who are big stars, well, you might as it's bad to say maybe, but you might as well do it with women because they're cheaper. Just the way it goes. Sorry. 176. Not that cheap, right? 320%. You're hired. Now, you'll notice when you hire people too, if you're having a hard time with making money and stuff, right? This is another thing to keep in mind. Let's look at, it doesn't really matter, does it? We can just look at hiring people. I'm going to hire some actors. So you'll notice that the price, a lot of times you'll get people who are not charging what they should be charging. So let's go to free here. You get this one's 98 for 3.6. And then you get like a 94 for a 3.5. Right? They're not always proportionate. So like sometimes you've seen me get them cheaper. Like this is a 53 for a 3.8, an 83 for a 4.0. We can scroll up even further, and 180 for a 5, almost a 5.0. Right? You're gonna get those types of things, and you're gonna notice the time is typically, not always. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's not, but typically the time is almost double what the per film is. So in other words, if I hire this guy for 1 year, to get enough value out of that, I need to put him in at least 2 movies in a year, right? Then I can get better value out of it. If I'm not sure I can do 2 movies with him in a year, then don't hire him for a year, hire him per film, which is what I typically do for actors up until this point. But now that I have facilities like I have, I'm going to be kicking movies out very fast and always working. Hiring them for years is starting to make sense. And that's where this whole star power thing is. And I can now I need to hire people with 5.0 or more on these longer term contracts to get them moving. So I think maybe like Bessie here, for example, she's a 6.3. And she has a little bit of artistic value too. So if I was a boutique person, I mean, if I might look at this as an opportunity too. But I need long-term contracts with these guys, right? So this is very expensive. It's very expensive. But that's the gig. So I'm gonna get her on my team here as well, and I'm gonna be looking at opportunities to hire more actors at higher contracts and stuff, right? I want to get them up there. They need to be higher skilled. So 5.0 or more. So if I take a look really quick at my policy again, I'm at 4 out of 8 here. I'm halfway to this goal so that I can start working on this goal. And there's rewards for this, right? The reward for getting this is that people with commercial status will be more willing to work for me. Cool. I assume that means that they'll charge me less because they're more willing to work with me, so they charge me less. I don't know. And then you have take all the top 3 spots. If I get this, then I unlock contractors for post-production. I assume they're better than the current ones that I have, right? That's going to be great. So we're going to look at that. I want to explore all of the options, but I'm just starting with this one. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So that one took a little bit of a dip. Sweet Fruits of Jade. It's not the worst thing in the world. It can happen. Emma got better. That's another big important thing. I don't know how good Emma can get, but she got better. Okay, so Sweet Fruits of Jade is not a romance movie. And I can obviously do some overlap here. If I do that, then I'm gonna have to buy theaters, right? And I think they don't cost me less. I don't think they cost me less yet, do they? What is it? If a film's production budget exceeds $1 million, renting from other people's theaters. Okay, so it has to be a really expensive film if I'm gonna do that. Well, this one did not cost $1 million, so this one's full price still. So, in other words, the game is encouraging me now to spend more on my films. Let's go like this. First week, we'll go to about there. Actually, I might need some more for this one, so why don't we pull back a little bit here, and we'll buy our extra screenings. There, that's fine. And then for this side, we're probably good going about here, and then this one can go about, let's say, here, and then this one can go about here. And then zero these out, and we're good to go. Print. Sweet Fruits of Jade. We'll advertise it halfway through the next term, and this one is an historical action movie. The criminal gang. It's all men. So we're not really going to be targeting women much. I think this will work for me. Let's do it. We can do the tricks too. Charlie will do it. He likes doing tricks. He's really into that kind of thing. Okay. Onwards to Wayback. Wayback cost $500,000, and we're up to a big increase in popcorn on that one. Very nice. Happiness, all around. It's probably going to drop at post, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Emma, you're going to do as good as you can. One other change they've made since, you know, all the patches is that now when you use your own facilities, it is free. Before it cost a little money, right? It didn't make any sense. I built the thing. I'm paying for it every month anyway, right? Now it's free. So as we develop our own facilities, this process gets way, way cheaper as it goes. That's what we want to see. Okay. Excellent. Next thing to do is, Alejandro Peterson passed away at the age of 39. His life script still had plenty of unfilmed scenes, but a sudden illness rewrote the ending. Alejandro. Okay, that sucks. We need a famous guest for the bar. And I think maybe we'll get the new Bessie Cole to visit it, if possible. How much are you going to charge me for that? Well, that's a bit extreme. That's just a bit extreme. How about we maybe not have you do it? How about we have someone else do it? Is it still the same price? I'll have Sarah do it. She's like a nobody. We'll have her do it. Is it the same cost? Okay, it's the same cost no matter who does it. Damn. Man, this guy really... $70,000 is a lot just to have an actor go visit a bar, man. She looks like she could use a drink. We'll get her to do it. She really does look like she could use a drink. Look at that portrait. She's like, I've been through some shit, man. She's an addict. Yeah. I'm not going to give her any gifts. We'll just give her the 70 grand. That's a gift. Spend an evening at the bar, okay? There you go. I gave you the money. We did the thing. The bootleggers can be happy. And I can get my influence with them. All right. So limited edition is an interesting script. I like the name. It's certainly got a lot of genres in here. 4 gang members. Detective. We're going to shelve that one for now. That's a lot of people. We have a lot of GP with these guys. I want to maybe cash in on some of that. A beating. Okay. Hang on. Threaten. Most threats involve talk of killing a person's loved ones or descriptions of intensive means of torture. Not the most elegant, perhaps, but still a reliable means of persuading a person to make the right decision. We will acquire a threaten. And I think we will target... Oh, I can't target anyone else? Oh, I can only target my own people. That sucks. Why would I want to do that? Okay, I'm assuming we can do this later. We can target other people later with that. It's got to be a thing. Evening in philanthropy, experienced lawyer, mayor's party, get some more influence. I have a lot of influence already. We have 54 days left on our protection from raids and withdraw money from the studio account as cash. So I had another question that says, how do I get cash? Well, you can do these services, right? Search for blackmail material. I can do that too, I suppose. I can acquire blackmail material on our own people. Maybe. These guys are actually, I like this guy. Look at this. William Wheeler. Although if I want to get my own people to do things, that's how you do it. So maybe I'll get some blackmail material on not Vivian. Vivian's just a sweetheart. Where's the guys that are giving me a problem here? Francisco was giving me a problem earlier. Can we get some dirt on Francisco Gray? Yeah. Go get some dirt on him. And then if I can withdraw money, right? Turn the soulless numbers in the studio's ledger into crisp bills. Acquire. And this is going to cost me the influence regardless of what I do here. So I think I want to just convert a whole bunch of cash. So let's get, I don't know. What do you think? Like 50 grand? I think we get like 50 grand. That's the maximum I can do. So there we go. Withdraw money into cash. Perfect. Okay. We have $50,000 in cash now. Feels pretty damn good. Now we can manipulate people with that, hopefully. As long as the police don't take it. Still don't think I can fix the services building, and that's going to really cost me. So what I've been trying to do is renew people's contracts without using health insurance, because there's still a lot of people that are using the service. 16 of them are still using this service, but it's going to get to the point where I have to fix it, because I mean, it's 30. I think under 30% you have to fix it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to think about that. I'm hoping that they patch it and fix that as fast as possible, please. You're a 4.0, Francisco Roberts. I think anyone under 5.0 is automatic per film, so that I can get the 5.0 people, you know, they're going to be on it for years. That's my whole thing. So if you get better, then you get a better contract. But I'll get you for some more movies. That sounds good to me. Okay. Determination. All right. Going through some things here. Anthony got a level up. He's 5.0 now. He's not an actor, though, so I'm not required to get a long contract with a director. It's basically for just on-screen talent. You're probably going to bring the movie down a bit, but you need experience anyway, so let's do it. Same thing. Get all the good things. Get our own studio to be used. Off you go. Okie dokie. Now, it's interesting that this building can be used for both of the films at the same time. You know, a lot of times you can't do that with different things, can't be used at the same. Like sound studios and stuff can only be one film at a time. But this, sound stages can't be more than one film at a time, but the studio is fine. The sound studio is okay. I find that interesting. Can I build another one? Yes, it's already built. So it's limiting me to only one anyway. Oh, there's another tab here now. Basic, advanced, and then policy. The image workshop. Well, we're waiting for that. That's 73 days away. I could have done it quickly, but then I wanted to make sure that if I was working on anybody's image or whatever it is that I can do later with that building, I don't want to have to stop it and fix it. So, yeah, it's fine. Thank you for being evil. It's actually a 6.6 rating. I'd prefer to think of it as a C3 sixes. 666. There are 3 6s. Thank you for being evil. I prefer to think the popcorn score is a 6.66. Okay? You see where I'm going with that. I hope you do anyway. Let's do Snatch. It's not a great film, but it's okay. The script is okay. And we only have one movie left from you. Let's wait. You're on a timer, Homer. Let's get you in here. And we'll get you a soundstage. Actually, I'd like to use Homer. I'd like to use Homer for a better film. Can Homer do... Is there another script I can buy? That's kind of Homer's area right there. It's just so expensive. I don't want to have it. I'm gonna shelve this one. I think we'll do Lost Twin instead. We'll have Homer do Lost Twin instead. So Homer is on this. Soundstage 3, which I can't pick for some reason. Okay, we'll do Soundstage 4. I'm just not able to click that one. All right, there we go. Yep, get you all in there. You like locations. I do have location scouting now. Maybe if we switch, let me see what it costs. 13,000, 6 days. If I switch to locations, then it's slightly more days, but it's less money. And it does let me do this, even though I shouldn't be able to. I'm not gonna cheat that. But you like being on locations, so I'm gonna maybe give you locations for these. It is slightly cheaper, but these ones here I want higher priority, I want higher quality, so we're gonna give you the whole soundstage for those. Okay, get the technology, give you all the things, and producers. You just can't quite work on 2 things yet, can you? How far along are we on this? We gotta be getting close. How close are we? 1 day. That's for the fix. Oh shit, right. It stops researching on the fix, didn't it? Oh, how close was it? The Mafia failed to find any dirt on Francisco Gray. It looks like he's a saint. Oh man. How close were you? 7 days away the whole time? Ugh. Okay, we're gonna pause right here. I think this film will be Franklin's baby. think we'll have Franklin hit this one. Yes, and then I want to get soundstage on there. There we go. I'll have Franklin do this one, and we'll just put everything in a soundstage. Although, again, you like locations, so you know what? Maybe we'll take locations for just those ones. So I'll give you the higher quality stuff here. Yep, and then we'll put a pin in this one at this point too, because I want to assign the producers and stuff. So we'll just put a pin in that really quick for 7 more days. It'll be fine. Everything's getting planned with that. Now we can do 2 projects per producer. It's so good. So the next thing we can do, and it's really the only thing left to do with this version of the game, is influential producer, which is great. We just get a negotiation bonus with actors and directors and all these things. So if the producer is level 5 or higher, which we'll have, if I'm going to be making these long-term contracts with people, then I'm going to be able to do it for a little less money if I do it that way. So we'll up that, hit go, and we'll wait it out. It says in Birmingham, Alabama, 4 were killed during a race riot. The media cites the release of the comedy Anthony and Dushana as the source of contention. Rioting began after Birmingham Methodist Bishop Thomas, that's a long, wow, that's a word salad, wrote an open letter against the film calling for violence. In the story of Anthony and Dushana, a white linguists professor named Anthony bets a colleague that he can teach a black girl, Dushana, good manners and proper speech. At the end, he falls in love with the girl, kisses her on the lips, and many viewers were violently outraged by the scene. Some called the film a disgusting piece of work, which was spitting in the soul of America. In the letter that sparked the riot, the bishop wrote that the film was an offense against the face of God. Okay, sure, yeah, declare it's an interracial thing that everybody seems to hate in this time period. So that's happening. And the Pollux Awards are coming up. Ooh. Experts have nominated a number of contenders. And look at this. 2 out of the 3, man. That ain't bad. Sweet. Captain for a Day got it too. Awesome. Best Actor, we're nominated in 2 of our films as well. Best Actress is nominated as well, Elizabeth Wells. Very nice. And 2 nominations for Best Director. Man, we might take this. Who knows? Cinematography as well. Gotten whole sorts of nominations here. It's going to make us way more popular with all these nominations. Seems good.